The world of art is huge. From different media, to styles, to genres, no two art forms can really be said to be the same. Yet, all artists, from time to time, face the same existential struggles, asking questions like, what is this art that I'm doing? What am I doing, and why am I doing what it is that I am doing? Maybe I should just drop everything and do something actually useful to society. What is the point of all this art anyway? As you may have guessed, these questions of inquiry are not all that different from the questions asked by scientists, economists, philosophers, and the like. Some find it easier to answer these questions. They have tools like numbers and all their objectivity, supposedly, to prove to themselves the impact and the importance of the work that they do to the world. But us as artists only have our subjective experience. But therein lies our strength, because what else is the human experience if not a subjective one? Importance, impact, purpose, all these grand ideas, what else are they if not informed by our own subjective experience and value systems? You see, so art, being a product of our own value systems and our own subjective experience, is actually really just a reflection of the world that helped to shape these subjectivities. So art, like any other discipline of knowledge, interrogates the world, whether or not you realize it. All art can be said to deal with subjective realities, and all artists, by extension, are creators of such realities, such worlds, such microcosms of the very world we live in. Art can revitalize our views of the world, to direct attention to the things we otherwise would have never noticed while going about our days in autopilot mode. Art can inspire action by calling to light the problems in our own subjective experience of the world. Art can offer people escape into worlds slightly more ideal than the real one we live in. Art reframes, reshapes, represents, and represents the world that we live in, each art piece being a microcosm of the outer life that exists around us. The world that exists in any artwork is, just like people, as shaped by the real world around it as it does shape and influence the real world in which it was made. I'm sure we all know this comic. It's a funny depiction of our response when a situation is so terrible of just refusing to acknowledge it. But even something as trivial seeming as this shapes the world. Acknowledging his possible participation in creating a culture of inaction to problems, the artist of this comic, Casey Green, later updated the comic with these panels instead. Art can idealize, distort, imagine, admire, laugh at, and otherwise respond to or construct realities of all kinds. But it is through this very act that every artwork and artist interrogates the world. Why might we find something beautiful, funny, or awe-inspiring? Why might we resonate with something and not something else? Why might we find certain things more worthy of depicting or discussing than other things? The artist's subjective experience responds to all these questions in many ways that make their artworks microcosms and hence reflections of the real world they live in. Artists are important because they call to light the subjective experience, and in many ways, that is the most important thing in life. You're not an artist if you merely possess great technical skills, for that is merely a means to an end and can definitely be picked up. You are an artist if you have something to say about the world and cannot live without expressing it. You are an artist if it is of utmost importance to you to be able to affect minds, to create microcosms that can be inhabited meaningfully by people, be it a photograph that immerses a viewer in it, a performance that freezes time while it lasts, or even a work that deeply bewilders viewers. Few artists will ever get to achieve the kinds of success that are celebrated by the media, from multi-million-dollar auctions to celebrity status, but take heart that that doesn't necessarily matter. I would even question if an artist's fame is attributed to the value of what they had to say, or merely the popularity of it. Take heart in knowing that as an artist, it is entirely possible that only a few people will resonate with or be deeply affected by your work. But those are the ones that make your art practice so important and valuable, that they are enough of a reason for you to keep making art, and keep saying what you have to say about the multitudes of realities that exist in this world. Just by playing with these essences of life, an artwork possesses the power to be immeasurably enriching. Your observation and expression of the world is just that powerful. As artists, we can never afford to stop thinking about and engaging with the world that we live in. That's our value. But frankly, doesn't that just sound like remembering and reminding the world to be human?